Want to speak real Portuguese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at PortuguesePod101.com.
Bom dia, gente, tudo bom? Paloma here. Welcome to another Top Portuguese Words. Today's topic is must know expression for agreeing and disagreeing. Exatamente. Exactly. Exatamente. Exactly. Exatamente comes from the word exato, which means exact. You can also say exato, that's right, or that's exact. Bom, eu não tenho certeza. Well, I'm not sure. Bom, eu não tenho certeza. Well, I'm not sure. Certeza means certain or sure, of course. So you can also say certeza, of course, or sure. It's the opposite for, well, I'm not sure. Bom, eu não tenho certeza. Claro, of course. Claro, of course. Claro can also mean bright, like a bright color, cor clara, but it also means sure or of course. Can you help me? Claro, claro que eu posso te ajudar. Of course I can help you. Acho que sim. I guess so. Acho que sim. I guess so. Literally, the sentence is translated as I think yes in English, but it means I think so. For example, are you free tomorrow? Você está livre amanhã? I think so. Eu acho que sim. Eu ia falar isso agora. I was just going to say that. Eu ia falar isso agora. I was just going to say that. I guess the sentence seems like someone stole your idea right before you're going to say it. Ah, eu ia falar isso agora, but you said it before me. Tá, você está certo. Yeah, you're right. Tá, você tá certo. Yeah, you're right. Remember that this sentence is informal because you're using você. So if you're using this sentence in a formal or business context, it's better if you say sim, o senhor está certo. Sim, a senhora está certa. Ok? Você está errado. You're wrong. Você está errado. You're wrong. I don't think that's a very nice sentence to say to someone because it's very harsh. So you could say, eu acho que você está errado. I think that you're wrong. That is less direct than você está errado. You're wrong. Acho que não. I don't think so. Acho que não. I don't think so. This is the opposite from acho que sim that we said previously. So it also is translated as I think that no. Eu acho que não. Talvez. Maybe. Talvez. Maybe. This sentence neither agreeing nor disagreeing is just on the fence, em cima do muro, as we say in Portuguese. Talvez. Maybe. Eu não concordo, não. I don't agree. No. Eu não concordo, não. I don't agree. No. So finally here we're using the verb concordar to agree. To say the opposite, you can use discordar to disagree or não concordar, not to agree or doesn't agree. The question for this answer would be, você concorda? Do you agree? Or just concorda? Agree? And the answer is eu concordo or eu não concordo. Also, the word concorda has the same pronunciation as with rope. So sometimes people make fun and say concorda ou sem corda? With rope or without rope? But meaning, do you agree? The end. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree with this video. See you next time. Bye bye.
Oi, gente, tudo bem? This is Jade Furuta and welcome to another Portuguese Weekly Words. Today's theme is life events. Yay! This sounds exciting. Nascimento, nascimento. Birth. O nascimento de uma criança é um milagre. O nascimento de uma criança é um milagre. A child's birth is a miracle. Aniversário. Birthday. O meu aniversário é dia 16 de dezembro. O meu aniversário é dia 16 de dezembro. My birthday is December 16th. Casamento. Wedding. Que cerimônia de casamento linda! Que cerimônia de casamento linda! What a beautiful wedding ceremony! Se aposentar. Se aposentar. To retire. Quando você vai se aposentar? Quando você vai se aposentar? When are you gonna retire? Morrer. To die. Eu vou morrer de rir com esse filme. I'm gonna die of laughing with this movie. Acabou! The end. Thank you for watching and até a semana que vem. See you next week. Beijo! Tchau!
Want to finally start speaking in your target language? In this guide, you'll discover the top 7 ways to practice speaking on your own with our lessons. Let's begin. Number 1, shadowing. Shadowing is a proven learning technique where all you do is repeat what you hear in order to practice speaking. So, access any audio or video lesson on the site and press the play button to start. Then, as you listen or watch, just repeat the conversations. Or, even easier, read along out loud with the dialogue section. The script is right there in front of you. With our lessons, you can master entire conversations, just like that. Number 2, read out loud. I just mentioned it, but reading out loud is another powerful tactic and deserves its own mention. With every lesson, you get written transcripts and translations. So, as you play the lesson, read the dialogue out loud as you hear it. Why? By reading out loud, you're also practicing your speaking skills. You can do this with the lesson notes, the lesson transcript, or the dialogue tool. With the dialogue tool, you can listen to each line again and again, and repeat out loud until you master them all. Number 3, speed up your reading to speed up your speaking. Being able to speak without thinking is a sign of language mastery. If you're talking to a native and can respond quickly, they'll assume that you're fairly fluent. How can you do this? When you read out loud, try increasing your speed a little bit every time. So, start by reading with the dialogue tool. If you're like most learners, you'll read the first line slowly. That's because you're still getting used to the words, which is okay. Reread it. On your second try, you know most of the words, and you'll read a little faster. Reread it again. On your third try, you'll be even faster, at a native speaker's speed. And being able to read these phrases out loud and fast will help you speak fast. Number 4, record and compare yourself with native speakers. In order to sound like a native speaker, you must imitate native speakers. So here's how. Access the voice recorder, which is in the dialogue study tool in every lesson. Click on the microphone icon. Listen to the native speaker's audio, and then record yourself. You can then compare the 2 recordings side by side, and practice and try again and again until you perfect your pronunciation. Number 5, get feedback from our Premium Plus teacher. If you're learning by yourself and don't have access to real teachers, then you can always get feedback from our Premium Plus teachers. With the My Teacher tool, you can record yourself speaking and send the audio file to the teacher. They'll review it and tell you what to improve and how. That's it. Number 6, level up your speaking with Premium Plus assignments. With Premium Plus, you can also get assignments that cover reading, writing, listening, and even speaking from your teacher. These assignments can be tailored to your goals and needs. You get a new one every week, or anytime you're ready for a new one. Number 7, get even more lessons in the lesson library. If you want even more lessons on speaking and conversations, visit our lesson library and under Category, choose Conversation. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons that are focused on speaking. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. And if you're ready to finally learn language the fast, fun, and easy way, and start speaking from your very first lesson, get our complete learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account right now. Click the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Want to finally learn Portuguese the fast, fun, and easy way? In this video, I'll show you the top 10 ways to get started. So let's begin. Number 1. Take your very first lesson. Access any audio or video lesson on PortuguesePod101.com and just press the play button to get started. Don't have an account? Don't worry. Just go to the sign up page to create an account. It takes less than 30 seconds and it's free. We have thousands of audio and video lessons covering a variety of topics like grammar, pronunciation, listening, and reading. Just click on the play button on any lesson and start learning. Number 2. Read along with the lesson. You can read along with the lesson notes or lesson transcript. These come with every lesson. The lesson notes provide you with the dialogue for the scene taught in the lesson, along with translations, a more in-depth explanation of the grammar and culture, and even vocab and sample sentences. The lesson transcript is the full word-for-word transcript of everything you hear in the lesson. And the dialogue study tool provides you with the audio for the lesson dialogue, along with the translations. Number 3. Shadowing. Shadowing is a tested learning technique where you repeat what you hear. This is a great way to start speaking in minutes and practice speaking in general. If you're listening along with the lesson audio or dialogue, be sure to shadow along the way. Number 4. Use the dialogue study tool to master the conversation. Here, you get the line-by-line breakdown of the conversation demonstrated in the lesson. Listen and repeat until you've mastered each line. Do this until you've mastered the entire conversation. Number 5. Use the voice recorder to perfect your pronunciation and speaking. In the dialogue study tool, you'll find a microphone icon next to each line. Click on it to record your voice. Then, compare it with the native speakers. Listen and adjust your pronunciation until you match that of the native speaker. Number 6. Review vocab with the lesson vocabulary list. Vocabulary words are the building blocks of language. You can save vocab words taught in each lesson by clicking on Add to Word Bank. Want to drill the words with smart flashcards instead? Just click on Add to Flashcard Deck to do so. Number 7. Listen to the review track. If you've studied an audio lesson before, just listen to the review track so that you don't have to listen through the entire lesson again. This is a great way to reinforce the material that you've learned, and it's great to have on the go. Just access any audio lesson and click on the download icon. Then click Review to download the review track. Number 8. Review with quizzes after the lesson. Once you're confident enough with the material taught in the lesson, be sure to take the quiz to test your newfound knowledge. Take the review questions and answer true or false for each one. Or take the writing questions and input your answer. Remember to check the answers by clicking on the Check Answers button. Number 9. Participate and leave a comment. The best way to master what you've learned is to use it. Join the community of learners by leaving a comment below at the end of every lesson. Our dedicated teachers will check your responses to correct you on any mistakes or provide you with helpful study tips and advice. And finally, number 10, move on to the next lesson. Done with a lesson? Mark the lesson as complete. You can see your overall learning progress on your dashboard. If you particularly enjoyed the lesson, mark the lesson as favorite so that you can come back to it later at any time. Click on the forward arrow to move on to the next lesson and continue learning. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn Portuguese, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. Remember, you can sign up to PortuguesePod101.com by clicking on the link in the description. Sign up takes less than 30 seconds, and it's free. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Oi gente, tudo bom? Paloma here. Welcome to Top 10 Ways to Remember Words. Eu aprendo sobre as raízes das palavras e como palavras diferentes são relacionadas umas com as outras. I learn about the roots of words and how different words are related to each other. É mais fácil de lembrar as palavras quando você sabe as raízes delas. It's easier to remember words when you know the roots. So you can relate some verbs with now, for example, correr, to run, and corrida, running. Also, fight, luta with fighting, lutar. Eu categorizo novas palavras com outras palavras relacionadas que eu já conheço. I categorize new words with other related words that I already know. I think, for example, you could categorize all words that are related to home. Lar, casa, casão, casarão, casinha. There would be different ways to say home or house in Portuguese. Eu costumo assistir TV ou vídeos no YouTube que são feitos para crianças pequenas. I often watch TV or YouTube videos that are designed for young children. One of my favorite shows when I was little would be Castelo Rá-Tim-Bum Castle. Another one that was my favorite was Cocoricó. Cocoricó is the sound that the roosters do. Cocoricó! Eu procurei alguns vídeos infantis no YouTube para aprender português. I searched for some kids videos on YouTube to learn Portuguese. Eu escuto músicas e memorizo as letras. I listen to songs and memorize the lyrics. This is a very nice technique because usually you like the song you're learning, so it's easier to learn. That was one of the ways I learned English. Eu baixei várias músicas brasileiras para aprender português. I downloaded many Brazilian songs to learn Portuguese. Eu falo as palavras em voz alta para que eu possa ouvi-las. I say words out loud so that I can actually hear them. One thing is to understand the language, and the other thing is to be able to speak and communicate in the language. If you don't try to speak it out loud, you will never know if you can communicate and speak in the language. So you gotta try and don't be ashamed. Não tenha vergonha. Just try to speak it. Eu falo tudo errado, mas eu tento falar em português. I say it all wrong, but I try to speak in Portuguese. Eu falo o máximo possível com falantes nativos. I speak as often as possible with native speakers. If you're speaking with native speakers, there's no way you won't learn the language or the words that you want to remember. Because if you don't say the correct words, they will help you and try to correct you. That's very nice to have people that speak the language to motivate you too. Eu tenho vários amigos brasileiros que me ajudam com meu português. I have many Brazilian friends that help me with my Portuguese. Eu tento pensar em português, porque daí se torna natural para o meu processo de pensamento. I try to think in Portuguese, so it becomes natural to my thought process. One of the things that I noticed when I was learning English is that if you don't think in the language you're speaking, your brain has to do so many translations that you won't be able to become fluent in that language. So try to think little by little in the language you're learning, that it will help you a lot. Quando eu estou pensando em português, eu não consigo pensar em inglês. When I'm thinking in Portuguese, I can't think in English. Eu tento usar a língua repetidamente no contexto da vida cotidiana. I try to use the language routinely in the context of daily life. You can call little things in Portuguese in your house, like nouns, for example, spoon, colher, fork, garfo. You can also use your dog for talking to him in Portuguese and teach him some tricks in Portuguese. A minha professora de inglês só falava em inglês com o gato dela. My English teacher only spoke in English with her cat. That's true. Eu uso a repetição. Ler, escrever e falar as palavras várias vezes. I use repetition. Reading, writing and speaking words over and over again. You know the commercial that is on TV and is like every 10 minutes the commercial is there again on your TV? There's no way you will forget that commercial, right? You gotta do the same with words. You just say that word again and again and again and there will be no way you'll forget it. Eu precisava decorar uma frase em português e fiquei falando ela o dia inteiro. I needed to memorize a phrase in Portuguese, so I spoke it all day long. Ler o máximo possível, especialmente o jornal, me ajuda a lembrar as palavras. Reading as much as possible, especially the newspaper, helps me to remember words. Newspaper is kind of advanced Portuguese because you won't find easy conversational words, they will be more formal and business words. But if you're already in that level, yeah, that would be a great help for you to read newspaper. Nowadays you can find newspaper online and also on YouTube there are many news channels. So that's a very good way to memorize and remember everyday words. Eu leio o jornal todos os dias para aprender palavras de economia. I read the newspaper every day to learn economy words. Ufim, the end. Thanks a lot for watching and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.
You've decided to study a new language, So now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1, create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2, make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3, find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4, use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
20 travel phrases you should know. Travel, viajar. Você pode me ver um mapa? Could you get me a map? Você pode me ver um mapa? Could you get me a map? Well, nowadays everyone has cell phone and we have maps on it, so it's not that useful anymore. But sometimes in some smaller cities, it's very useful to have a map. So just remember the word, mapa. It's not that hard, right? Você fala inglês? Do you speak English? Você fala inglês? Do you speak English? Well, this is kind of a survival phrase, especially if you don't speak Portuguese very well. You should know that one. So you can, just approach everyone and just ask them, Você fala inglês? Você fala inglês? Well, if you speak another language, you can also ask, just change English for that language, right? Você fala inglês? Você fala francês? Você fala japonês? And hopefully someone will speak the language you need. Tem algum ônibus que vai do aeroporto até a cidade? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? Tem algum ônibus que vai do aeroporto até a cidade? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? In most airports, there will probably be a bus that goes from the airport to the city, so just ask information or guardinha, like a security guard. Yeah, we love to ask the guardinhas. Moço, excuse me, sir. Moço, com licença. O Wi-Fi é gratuito? Is the Wi-Fi free? O Wi-Fi é gratuito? Is the Wi-Fi free? You can also say, o Wi-Fi é grátis? In most restaurants, hotels, and everywhere you go, they will have a Wi-Fi. So sometimes the Wi-Fi is free, but they still have a password. So you can ask, qual é a senha do Wi-Fi? What is the Wi-Fi password? Você tem um quarto vago para hoje? Do you have any vacancies tonight? Você tem um quarto vago para hoje? Do you have any vacancies tonight? I prefer to book for a room before going to the city, but many people prefer to just go to the place they want to go and there they find the hotel. Well, if you do that, then you have to ask, tem algum quarto para hoje à noite? Or tem algum quarto vago para hoje à noite? Eu poderia me mudar para outro quarto? Could I move to a different room? Eu poderia me mudar para outro quarto? Could I move to a different room? Well, there are many reasons why you want to change your room. Maybe it's too noisy, barulhento, or something's broken, quebrado. So you can just go complain, this is broken, or it's too noisy. Posso me mudar para outro quarto? Eu tenho uma reserva. I have a reservation. Eu tenho uma reserva. I have a reservation. Well, you can use this at hotels or restaurants. If you want to be more specific, you can say, eu tenho uma reserva no nome de. I have a reservation under the name of. Eu tenho uma reserva no nome de Paloma. Você pode trazer o cardápio, por favor? Could you bring the menu, please? Você pode trazer o cardápio, por favor? Could you bring the menu, please? Okay, this is very useful because many countries, they also use the word menu, similar to the English, but in Brazil, we mostly use the word cardápio. So don't forget it. If you say menu, they probably understand, but it's much more common to say cardápio. Você tem alguma sugestão? Do you have any recommendations? Você tem alguma sugestão? Do you have any recommendations? So you can ask that to the waiter, the waitress, or maybe the tour guide. You can also say like, I like meat. Do you have any recommendations? Eu gosto de carne. Você tem alguma sugestão? Você pode trazer a conta? Could I have the check? Você pode trazer a conta? Can I have the check? So, você pode trazer a conta literally means, can you bring me the bill? But, well, in English it's more common to say, can I have the check? Maybe. You can also say just, a conta, por favor. The check, please. Eu sou alérgico a amendoim. I'm allergic to peanuts. Eu sou alérgico a amendoim. I'm allergic to peanuts. I'm so lucky I'm not allergic to anything, so I can just order whatever I want. Maybe I won't like it, but at least it won't be bad for me. If you're allergic to something, make sure to know that word in Portuguese. If you don't know that word, you can just post in the comments below and we'll make sure to answer you. Uma água, por favor. Water, please. Uma água, por favor. Water, please. Usually when you order water in Brazil, they come in bottles, they don't come in glasses. And they are usually água mineral, not água com gás, which would be sparkling water. So if you just want normal, natural water, you can just say água mineral. Quanto custa este daqui? How much is this? Quanto custa este daqui? How much is this? So if you're in store looking at things, you can just say, oh, I like that one. Quanto custa este daqui? How much is this? Eu quero 10 desses. I'd like 10 of this. Eu quero 10 desses. I'd like 10 of this. So if you went to the store and you asked, quanto custa este daqui? And you liked it, you can just say, eu vou levar 10 desses. I'm gonna take 10 of this. Eu quero este daqui. I'd like this one. Eu quero este daqui. I'd like this one. If you want to be very specific, you can say, eu quero este daqui. I'd like this one. If you want that one, you would say, eu quero aquele dali. Tem desconto? Is there a discount? Tem desconto? Is there a discount? So it's very common to ask for discounts in Brazil. You can also say, tem desconto no dinheiro? Is there a discount in cash? Especially if you're buying a lot of merchandise, you can ask that. Of course, you're not gonna ask in a supermarket or a chain store, but if it's like a local business, it's more common to give a discount. Maybe in touristic areas, not that common, but, well, you should try, right? As we say in Brazil, não custa nada. Doesn't cost anything. At the most, your answer is gonna be não, no. Não tem desconto. Vocês aceitam cartão de crédito? Do you take credit card? Vocês aceitam cartão de crédito? Do you take credit card? Nowadays you can pay by credit card everywhere. It's very, very hard to find a place that doesn't accept credit card. Like, it's crazy. Even if you go, for example, to the beach, there's like the guy selling earrings and he's gonna have his credit card machine so you can pay with credit card. I'm not kidding. Yeah. Onde fica a rodoviária? Where's the bus terminal? Onde fica a rodoviária? Where's the bus terminal? You can say rodoviária or terminal rodoviário, but it's much more common just to say rodoviária. Quanto é a passagem? What's the fare? Quanto é a passagem? What's the fare? You can use the question at the rodoviária, the bus terminal, for example, for a long-distance bus, but you can also use it for a local bus. For example, if you don't see the price that is usually in the front of the bus, you can just ask the driver, motorista, or cobrador, você poderia parar em, or você poderia me avisar? But first you have to ask, quanto é a passagem? Quanto é a tarifa? Você pode tirar uma foto de mim, por favor? Could you take a picture of me, please? Você pode tirar uma foto de mim, por favor? Can you take a picture of me, please? Most people nowadays don't leave their home without their selfie stick, which in Portuguese is pau de selfie. But if you don't have your pau de selfie, you can just ask someone, você pode tirar uma foto de mim, por favor? Or você pode tirar uma foto de nós, por favor? Can you take our picture, please? Yeah, I'm talking with my ghost friend here. Top 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Além do português, eu também sei outras línguas. Apart from Portuguese, I can speak other languages as well. If you say this phrase in Brazil, people will be so jealous at you because many Brazilians can't even speak English. So if you just say, eu posso falar outras línguas também, I can speak other languages as well, they will be like, okay, he's a genius. Ele é gênio. Além do português, eu também falo inglês, francês e espanhol. Apart from Portuguese, I can also speak English, French, and Spanish. Especially for people that can speak Portuguese, Spanish, even French and Italian are very easy. Not very easy, but easier to learn. Estou aprendendo português sozinho. I'm learning Portuguese by myself. I think it's a pretty amazing sentence to say because people usually go to language schools in Brazil to learn English and Spanish usually. But if you just say, you know, I'm learning that by myself, they will be like, wow. Não, eu não vou para a escola. Eu estou aprendendo português sozinho. No, I don't go to school. I'm learning Portuguese by myself. Estou estudando português faz 10 anos. I've been learning Portuguese for 10 years. That's a pretty long, hard-working path, right? Eu sei português porque eu estou aprendendo português faz 10 anos. I know Portuguese because I've been learning Portuguese for 10 years. E eu entendi tudinho que você disse. I completely understood everything you said. Using diminutives in Portuguese sentence shows that you can, you know, play with the language, so it seems like you're fluent in the language. If you say tudinho, that means small everything. Sounds like very Portuguese, very Brazilian. Não precisa repetir. Eu entendi tudinho que você me disse. You don't need to repeat. I completely understood what you said. Eu consigo assistir filmes em português sem legendas. I can watch movies in Portuguese without subtitles. Famous Brazilian movies you should watch are City of God, Cidade de Deus, or Tropa de Elite, The Elite Squad, which are all-time famous movies in here. Não precisa se preocupar. Eu consigo assistir filmes em português sem legenda. You don't need to worry. I can watch movies in Portuguese without subtitles. Levou apenas um ano para me tornar fluente. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. I think if you're a native Spanish speaker, you might say levou apenas um ano. But if you're English speaker, it might take a little longer if you don't dedicate, you know, all your time to learn Portuguese. If someone tells you, wow, seu português é ótimo. Wow, your Portuguese is great. You can answer, não, não é nada. Levou apenas um ano para me tornar fluente. No, it's nothing. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Obrigada, mas na verdade eu não sou brasileira. Thank you, but I'm not Brazilian actually. Yeah, I think that's the most amazing phrase you want to hear. Nossa, eu achei que você fosse brasileira. Wow, I thought you were Brazilian. Obrigada, mas na verdade eu não sou brasileira. Thank you, but actually I'm not Brazilian. Português é divertido e fácil de aprender. Portuguese is fun and easy to learn. If you tell this phrase to your friends, I think they'll be amazed because we know Portuguese is not that easy. And you just say, não, não é difícil. Português é divertido e fácil de aprender. No, it's not hard. Portuguese is fun and easy to learn. Posso memorizar umas 50 palavras novas por dia em português. I can memorize around 50 new Portuguese words a day. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Usually people can memorize 10 to 20 words a day, but if you say you can memorize 50, they'll be like, wow. Another word for memorize would be decorar, to know by heart. Você pode me ensinar mais. Eu posso decorar umas 50 palavras por dia em português. You can teach me more. I can memorize around 50 new words a day in Portuguese. Vou falar português como um falante nativo em 3 anos. I'll speak Portuguese like a native speaker in 3 years. That's a bold challenge, but if you're up to it, I think that's totally doable to learn and to be fluent in a language in 3 years. Eu vou estudar muito e vou falar português como um nativo em 3 anos. I'll study a lot and I'll speak Portuguese as a native speaker in 3 years.
Hi! Welcome to Introduction to Portuguese. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Anna.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of Portuguese grammar. Word order refers to the order in which words are structured to form a sentence in a given language. Consider the English sentence, I ate an apple. But first, let's remove the article an here for simplicity. So we're just left with I ate apple. The basic word order for English is subject, verb, object, or SVO for short.
The good thing is Portuguese uses the same SVO word order. Let's take a closer look.
If we break down the English sentence, I ate apple, we can see that the subject I is presented first, followed by the verb ate, and then finally the object apple is positioned last.
Let's compare that same sentence, I ate an apple, in Portuguese. Eu comi uma maçã. Like before, let's remove the particles to keep it simple. So we're just left with the words Eu comi maçã. I ate apple. Subject, verb, object. Breaking down the Portuguese sentence, we can see the word order is subject, verb, and object.
Which means that you don't have to change this basic structure when speaking Portuguese. In some cases, the order can be changed and the subject, in Brazilian Portuguese, is likely to be repeated forward in the sentence. But don't worry about it for now. Let's keep going. One of the great things about Portuguese is that once you learn how to form statement sentences, it's really easy to form other types of sentences. Let's see this one.
Você pegou o ônibus. Subject, verb, object.
As you see, the order of this statement is SVO. Now, what if you want to say this as a negative sentence, Anna?
You just have to place the negative word não, which means no or don't, before the verb. So we have the negative sentence. Você não pegou o ônibus. Basically, there are no different rules for these negative sentences. Just place the negative word não before the verb and keep the word order.
There are also other negative words in Portuguese, such as these.
Nunca, nem, nada, sem, nenhum, nenhuma.
Negative words in Portuguese may follow different rules and be placed differently.
For now, just stick with não before verbs, and you'll do just fine. Let's see another example. With the statement, how can we make it a negative sentence with the word não? You try. Eu não tenho tempo.
Well done. Notice that this negative word is not a verb, so it won't change according to verb tense. The verb changes, but the negative word doesn't, which is quite different from English.
Eu não tenho tempo. Eu não tive tempo. Eu não terei tempo.
As we mentioned before, building sentences in Portuguese is relatively simple. Let's see how we can form a question from a sentence.
If you want to make an indirect question, you can think of it like it's basically a statement, like the previous phrase. Você pegou o ônibus. With a question mark at the end and a raised intonation. Você pegou o ônibus? And that's it.
How simple! Unlike English, in Portuguese, you don't need to use a verb at the beginning of a question. And what about direct questions?
For some cases, you only need to use a question word, like o que, onde, quando at the beginning of the sentence. The rest is like the other examples we've seen in this lesson.
So, using one of these question words, we could make the following direct question by simply placing it at the beginning.
Onde você pegou o ônibus? Let's place it at the beginning. Quando você pegou o ônibus?
This is not an absolute rule, but it's enough to give you a better idea about question words and direct questions in Portuguese.
Okay then, let's move on to the next section.
As we learned in this lesson, Portuguese uses the same SVO order as English, and there are no great changes in negatives and questions. So we're going to talk about some Portuguese grammar aspects that differ from those of English. That means Portuguese grammar may permit or even mandate the omission of an explicit subject. Let's see two examples.
Não choveu. Negative, verb, word.
There is no subject in this phrase, as it's the rule in Portuguese in such cases. Here's another example.
Eu estou feliz. Subject, verb, adjective.
In this case, the subject is implicit. This is extremely common in Brazilian Portuguese and wouldn't be wrong to make explicit.
Eu estou feliz.
We'll elaborate later, but in Portuguese, the subject is encoded in the verb conjugation. That's why in this case, we know the subject is the first person singular, even though it's hidden.
There is one more aspect about Portuguese grammar that may be tricky.
In Brazilian Portuguese, adjectives are almost always placed after their nouns, while in English, it's the other way around.
Você pegou o ônibus amarelo. Noun, adjective. You took the yellow bus. Adjective, noun. Adjectives before nouns are not wrong though. They're just used more commonly in writing and for poetic effect. It would be unusual, however, when used in daily conversation.
Okay, let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that Portuguese sentences are formed using a subject, verb, object, or SVO word order. At the same time, this is not rigid, as Portuguese also uses other orders. Basic sentences, like statements and negatives, are very similar in their structure. To make indirect questions, you should just add a question mark at the end of a statement sentence and raise your intonation. Portuguese is a null subject language, so a lot of sentences may have the subject in a hidden condition or not present at all. Adjectives are placed after the noun and not before, like in English. We've covered only the very basics of Portuguese grammar. If you're interested in learning more, check out our Portuguese in 3 Minutes video series. In that course, we teach you useful phrases while covering the fundamentals of Portuguese grammar, and each lesson is only 3 minutes long.
Hi everyone, Paloma here. Welcome to Top 25 Portuguese Phrases. Oi, hi. Oi is a very common phrase in Brazil because when you meet someone, you want to greet him or her, you just say oi to everyone. You can also use olá, that is very common, but oi is more common than olá. Oi, gente. Hi everyone. Tudo bem? How are you? Tudo bem is a very useful phrase because it means a lot of things. It could be tudo bem? How are you? Or tudo bem? I'm fine. Or tudo bem? It's okay. So whenever in any situation you can use tudo bem. Tudo bem comigo. Everything's fine with me. Que legal. That's nice. Que legal is also very useful because when you want to say that something is cool or something's nice or that you're excited about something, you just say que legal. So, que legal que você está aprendendo português. That's nice that you're learning Portuguese. Bom dia. Good morning. Bom dia is the way you greet people in the morning. To be a little more formal, instead of oi or olá, you can use bom dia. So, bom dia, tudo bom com a senhora? Good morning, how are you, madam? Boa tarde. Good afternoon. Boa tarde is the way you greet people afternoon until 5 or 6 p.m., until dawn. So you could say, espero que você tenha uma boa tarde. I hope you have a good afternoon. Boa noite. Good evening. Boa noite is the way you greet people at night, so you can say good evening. boa noite to someone on the street, but you can also say boa noite, good night to someone at home. Boa noite, mãe, eu vou dormir. Good night, mom, I'm going to sleep. Prazer, nice to meet you. Prazer is a nice phrase because it's actually a word, so it's very short. You can use more complex phrases like prazer em conhecê-lo or é um prazer, but prazer is enough. Tchau, bye. Tchau is the way you say bye to someone in Portuguese. So you can say tchau or tchau tchau, and that would be fine. So, eu vou dar tchau para minha amiga. I'm going to say bye to my friend. Estou bem, e você? I'm fine, and you? Estou bem means I'm fine. So, if you're not fine, you can say estou mal, or não estou bem, I'm not fine. Como você está, or tudo bem? You can say estou bem. Por favor, please. Por favor is a very polite phrase that you need to know when you go to Brazil. So if you want to ask someone to bring you some water, you can say, por favor, você pode me trazer pouco de água? Please, can you bring me some water? Obrigado, obrigada, thank you. Obrigado is super important because you need to thank people when you ask something. So, obrigado is how men would say it, and obrigado is how women say it. So, obrigada por assistir ao nosso vídeo. Thank you for watching our video. De nada, you're welcome. And de nada is the opposite now. So, when someone tells you obrigada, you can say de nada. De nada, é um prazer. You're welcome, it's a pleasure. Sim, yes. So, if someone asks you, do you want to learn Portuguese? You can just say, sim, yes. Sim, eu quero aprender português. Yes, I want to learn Portuguese. Não, no. So, não has a very unique sound in Portuguese because it's a nasal sound. Não. Tudo bem. Okay. So, as I said before, tudo bem is very useful. You can say tudo bem to maybe everything in Brazil. Você não quer sair? Tudo bem. You don't want to go out? That's okay. Com licença. Excuse me. When you bump to someone on the street or you want to pass through someone, you can say com licença or dá licença. Dá licença, posso passar? Excuse me, can I pass through? Desculpa, I'm sorry. Desculpa, não foi a minha intenção. I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. When you hurt someone or when you bump into someone on the street or when you want to apologize to someone, you just say desculpa. Que horas são? What time is it? If you want to ask someone that you don't know, what time is it? You can say, com licença, senhor, que horas são? Excuse me, sir, what time is it? Onde fica o location? Where's the location? If you really need to go to the restroom and you don't know where it is, you can say, onde fica o banheiro? Where's the restroom? Or if you want to find a beautiful beach that you heard about, you can say, onde fica a praia? Where's the beach? O meu nome é? My name is? This one is very easy and useful. So, o meu nome é Paloma. My name is Paloma. Qual o seu nome? What's your name? Por quê? Why? If you want to ask someone, por que você chegou atrasado? Why were you late? Or if you want to complain with your boyfriend, say, por que você não me ligou? Why didn't you call me? Se cuida. Take care. Usually when we say goodbye to people, we also say se cuida, take care. So, tchau amigo, se cuida. Bye my friend, take care. Quanto que fica? How much is it? So if you're shopping in Brazil and you buy a lot of stuff, you can just ask quanto que fica, how much is it for the total of things you're buying. But if you want to ask just the price of a shirt, you can say quanto custa esta camiseta? How much is this shirt? Yeah, that's a very useful phrase if you want to buy something in Brazil. Até mais. See you soon. Até mais is another way to say bye to someone. So you can say, yeah, we have trains and helicopters around. Até mais is the way to say bye to someone. And it actually means until more. But you can say just até mais or até amanhã, see you tomorrow. Até mais tarde, see you later. So, até mais. Vamos embora. Let's go. Okay, so my final phrase is vamos embora, let's go or let's leave. You can also say vamos embora or vambora, that is the fastest way to say it. We use it, for example, if a party is too boring and you can say, que festa chata, vamos embora. What a boring party, let's leave. Or, vambora, eu quero ir pra lá. Let's go, I wanna go there. O vídeo está acabando, então vamos embora. The video is ending then, let's leave. See you. Tchau, tchau. Obrigada. Welcome to PortuguesePod101.com Português em 3 minutos. The fastest, easiest and most fun way to learn Brazilian Portuguese. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer. Hi, I'm Paloma. Nice to meet you. In this series, we are going to learn basic Portuguese expressions. It's super easy and it takes only 3 minutes. It also takes only 3 sentences. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Portuguese. It may vary a little depending on the person you're talking to. Let's first take a look at the most common way. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-lo. Hi, I'm Paloma. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-lo. Start by saying, Oi, meu nome é. Then say your name. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Finally, say, prazer em conhecê-lo. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-lo. Please pay attention to the end of the sentence. This version is only used if you're introducing yourself to a man, because you say conhecê-lo. If you're introducing yourself to a woman, you should use conhecê-la. So the full sentence to introduce yourself to a woman would be Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-la. Here's a quick tip to help you if you don't remember which article to use in the end of the sentence. Just use prazer. Prazer. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer. Let's check what you've learned. Based on who I'm talking to, try to remember how to introduce yourself. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-la. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-lo. When introducing yourself in Brazil, it's polite to shake hands. This is used in formal situations. In a more informal situation, people may kiss you on the cheek. The number of kisses may vary from person to person or region. Some people only kiss once, but others may kiss you 2 or even 3 times. Now it's time for Paloma's point. If you're introducing yourself to a group, you should say either conhecê-los or conhecê-las. If the group is all men or a mix of men and women, say conhecê-los. If the group is woman only, use conhecê-las. Do you know how to say thank you in Portuguese? You'll learn how to say this and many other words in the next lesson. Ciao, ciao. See you
Hi
then.
everyone. Welcome to the Ultimate Portuguese Pronunciation Guide. In this series, you'll master Portuguese pronunciation. Proper pronunciation is essential in Portuguese, and in this series, you'll learn it in a fast, comprehensive, and easy way. In this first lesson, you'll learn about the building blocks of the Portuguese pronunciation system that will help you in future lessons. The letters used in Portuguese are the same as the letters you use in English, but with a few additional accents that are used to modify some of the letters. Portuguese is made up of 26 letters, consisting of 21 consonants and 5 vowels. But be careful not to fall into a very common trap. As you're learning to speak correctly, you shouldn't concern yourself with all the letters. That's right, forget them. You care about the sounds of Portuguese, and here they are. There are 23 consonant sounds and 13 vowel sounds. By using all of these sounds, you can form every single word in Portuguese. Still seem complicated? Well, how about this? Of the 23 consonant sounds in Portuguese, you already know 20 of the original sounds. That's right. If you're a native English speaker, then you already make these sounds every day. You can also ignore most of the vowel sounds for the same reason. All you have to do, however, is distinguish between open, closed, and nasal vowel sounds. The only thing standing between you and perfect Portuguese pronunciation are 3 new consonant sounds and the difference between the vowel sounds. You can handle that. Now let me introduce Jade, who will be helping you to master these new sounds.
Oi, o meu nome é Jade Furuta.
Jade will be giving you native pronunciation examples for you to imitate, but for this first lesson, just sit back and listen to the unique sounds of Portuguese.
Velho, manhã, bravo, seu, cantar, avó.
In the next lesson, we'll look at the top 5 pronunciation mistakes Portuguese learners make. You'll want to make sure not to fall into these common traps. After that, we'll begin going through the vowels and consonants of Portuguese. This is your chance to learn how to correctly say all of the words you just heard. We'll finish up the series by covering some special topics that will really make your Portuguese sound natural. To close this lesson, here's a question for you. Why is it important to spend time on learning proper pronunciation, even if you're already an advanced speaker? The answer, you will be understood, and this will help you build more confidence as you communicate in Portuguese. For beginners, you're creating a strong foundation to build on, and for more advanced students, this is your chance to improve your accent and lose any bad habits you may have picked up. What is the hardest part of Portuguese pronunciation? Tell us about it in the comments. See you in the next Ultimate Portuguese Pronunciation Guide lesson.
Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Hi everybody, I'm Paloma. Welcome to PortuguesePod101.com's Português em 3 minutos, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Brazilian Portuguese. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Portuguese. As good manners are a must everywhere, today we are going to learn how to thank people. Vocês estão prontos? Are you ready? Vamos começar. Then let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the most common phrase, obrigado. Obrigado. Obrigado means thank you. To say thank you very much, you just need to add muito in the beginning. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito means a lot. So, muito obrigado is like saying thank you very much. In the last lesson, we saw that Portuguese words may vary according to gender. You say obrigado if you are a man. If you are a woman, you should say obrigada. Obrigada. When someone thanks you, how should you answer? There are a few things you can say. The first is de nada. De nada. This means it's nothing. You're telling the person that it's nothing worth thanking you for. There's another phrase that is often used to mean you're welcome in Portuguese. Disponha. It means welcome in English, but it's not used as often as de nada. Time for another quiz. What do you say in these situations? Muito obrigada. Muito obrigado. De nada. Now it's time for Paloma's point. In Brazil, we sometimes cut words when we are talking. For example, it's very common to hear brigado instead of obrigado. Don't get confused between brigado, that means fight, and brigado, thank you. Do you know what tudo bem means? In our next lesson, you'll learn this and some other greetings in Portuguese. Até a próxima!
Everyone, Paloma here. Welcome to Top 25 Portuguese Verbs. Ser, to be, exist. Ser is one of the ways to say the verb to be in Portuguese. It means the permanent state, so I am Brazilian, eu sou brasileira. I'll always be Brazilian, so eu sou brasileira. Ter, to have. Ter is used to mean that you have something. For example, eu tenho uma irmã, I have a sister. But it's also used to say age. For example, eu tenho 24 anos, I am 24 years old. Fazer, do, make. There's no difference in Portuguese between do and make, so you can say eu vou fazer bolo, I'll make a cake, or eu vou fazer a lição de casa, I'll do my homework. Dizer, to say. So you can say, ela disse que sabe falar português. She said she can speak Portuguese. Estar, to be. Estar is the other way you can say the verb to be in Portuguese, so you have ser and estar. Estar is the temporary state. So, for example, eu estou em São Paulo. I am in São Paulo. But it doesn't mean I'll be in São Paulo forever. So, for example, tomorrow I can be in Rio. So, today I'm in São Paulo. Hoje eu estou em São Paulo. Haver, to be. There is, there are. This verb's used a lot in news, but it's not very common in informal language in everyday casual conversations. Há 3 pessoas nesta sala. There are 3 people in this room. Ir, to go. So you can say, vamos para o Brasil? Let's go to Brazil. Or, eu vou viajar amanhã. I'm going traveling tomorrow. Saber, know. So you can say that you know Portuguese. Eu sei português. Or that you don't know some language. Eu não sei inglês. I don't know English. Poder, can. Eu posso carregar 10 quilos. I can carry 10 kilos. Ver, see. So you can say, eu vi esse filme semana passada. I saw this movie last week. Vir, to come. So vir and ver are very similar. The sound is very similar. And vir means to come and ver means to see. So you can say, você vem no meu aniversário amanhã? Are you coming to my birthday tomorrow? Achar, to think. So you could say, eu acho ele bonito. I think he's cute. Or, eu acho que amanhã vai chover. I think tomorrow's gonna rain. Ficar, stay. There are 2 ways you can use the verb ficar in Portuguese. One is the same as English, stay. Eu vou ficar em casa amanhã. I'm staying home tomorrow. But you can also use it to say where something is located. For example, onde fica o banheiro? Where's the bathroom? Querer, to want. Eu quero aprender português. I want to learn Portuguese. Or, ela quer ir ao Brasil. She wants to go to Brazil. Dar, give. So, a minha amiga me deu presente. My friend gave me a present. Ouvir, hear. So you can say, eu estou ouvindo a minha música favorita. I'm listening to my favorite song. Or, eu ouvi a conversa de vocês. I heard you talking. Deixar, let. Me deixa entrar? Can you let me in? Or, eu deixei a minha prima na casa dela. I left my cousin at her home. Falar, talk. Eu falo português. I speak Portuguese. Or, eu falei com a minha amiga. I talked to my friend. Pedir, ask. For example, if you're hungry, you could say, eu pedi uma pizza. I ordered a pizza, or I asked for a pizza. Passar, pass. It's a very useful verb because you can use it with other nouns or verbs to mean different things. For example, passar roupa, to iron clothes. Or passar o tempo, to spend time. Parecer, seem. For example, parece que vai chover hoje. It seems that it's gonna rain today. Well, not today, it's very sunny here. Sentir, feel. So you can feel sick, estou sentindo mal. Or sentir-se feliz, to feel happy. Chegar, arrive. For example, a minha mãe chegou agora. My mom just arrived. Sair, leave. Eu saí de casa muito cedo. I left home very early. Comer, to eat. So this is a very useful verb you need to know. For example, eu comi uma feijoada hoje. I ate a feijoada today. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching and I hope to see you in our next video. See you. Ciao. Gata. Okay. Yeah.
Um homem e uma mulher estão conversando. O que eles vão fazer primeiro?
O que você quer fazer hoje?
Eu quero ver um filme.
Tá, eu quero assistir um jogo de beisebol na TV.
Ah, e eu também quero fazer compra.
O meu jogo de beisebol começa à 1 da tarde.
Ok, então vamos ver o filme primeiro e depois você pode assistir o jogo de beisebol.
Tudo bem. E vamos fazer as compras à noite.
O que eles vão fazer primeiro? Um homem e uma mulher estão conversando. O que eles vão fazer primeiro?
O que você quer fazer hoje?
Eu quero ver um filme.
Tá, eu quero assistir um jogo de beisebol na TV.
Ah, e eu também quero fazer compra.
O meu jogo de beisebol começa à 1 da tarde.
Ok,
Então vamos ver o filme primeiro e depois você pode assistir o jogo de beisebol.
Tudo bem. E vamos fazer as compras à noite.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.